Hi, I'm Steve Carrigan, Director of Music Tuition here at Lode Street Studios in Bewdley, Worcestershire. Welcome to Studio 2. This is our smallest studio in the building. We do have four. The other three of them are far bigger, but I decided that this is a nice size for these video series that we're running now, which is hopefully going to give you a little bit of help from working from music theory in putting that into practice so that we're able to enhance your playing regardless of your instrument. And I'm going to be using a piano today because a piano is very visual and you'll be able to see hopefully everything that I do, but you can always email me if you want to chat about how you can put any of this onto any other instruments, okay, such as your guitars and working with a band, etc., etc. But for now, what we're going to be talking about is all those funny little numbers that you get under or by the side of your chord symbols. Often when we're playing from lead sheets, you are given the chord above your lyrics, which is great, but occasionally that chord will say 2 by the side of it, or 4, or 9, or 13, or 6. What do they mean? Well, in today's video, this is what we're going to be talking about, and hopefully by the end of it you will have a really decent understanding to be able to take that away onto your own instrument and put it into practice. So let's start with what I consider to be the most simple numbers that you get written by the side of a chord. In fact, once you know the theory, they're all quite simple, but these ones are really easy to put into practice and they're really very useful to you as well. And that's the suspended second and suspended fourth, often not written with SUS for suspended, okay, often just written C2. C4, but it means exactly the same thing. So what we're going to do is first of all just look at a scale of 8 notes through the key of C major, because C major is a very easy key to visualize and be able to see. On the piano you can see exactly what's happening. So let's just take C, we'll take middle C, and we'll take that as note number 1. D would be 2, E would be note 3, F is note 4, and so on. G5, A6, B7, and C is the perfect octave. Okay, so let's take a major chord first of all. How do we find a major chord? Well, we use the first, the third, and the fifth notes of the scale. So let's take the first note, which was C, the third note was E, and the fifth note is G. That will give you C major chord in its root position. And I'm going to work everything from root position today. In another video, I will just show you how we can invert our chords and make them sound so much better. But for now, let's take this root position C major chord, and we're going to now look at how we can change it to a suspended fourth. Well, it is as simple as this. We replace that third note, which is the middle one, in our chord here, in our major chord, and we're going to replace it with the fourth note of the scale. So that's moving it up 1 semitone to F. And there you have C suspended fourth. Let's just take that back to the C major. And we're going to drop this time down to the second note, again changing the third note, which is the middle note of the major chord. So we go to the second degree of the scale this time, which is 1 tone lower than the E. And there you have C sus 2. So where else can we use them? They're not always written in for us. Let's assume you've got a little piece of music in front of you on a lead sheet, and the first 2 lines of lyric cover the first 2 to 4 bars of music, and you have no chord changes in there whatsoever. It's all just on a C chord. Well, if we were to do that, let's keep it in 4/4 time as well, just for the moment. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4 bars of C. To me, that sounds a little boring. My ears like a little bit more to listen to, and I dare say yours probably do as well. So we're going to throw in a couple of suspensions. So I'm going to move to the 4th occasionally, and I'm going to drop down to the 2nd, but here's the rule about a suspended chord. Don't finish on one. Don't leave it suspended. You have to resolve. You've got to put it back to the major chord. Okay, so let's take those 4 bars again. And I'm going to just move between the suspended 4th and the suspended 2nd. Okay, and there we go. A lot more interesting already, and we haven't really had to do a lot. So let's move on to the key of E major, just to show you how simple that is. Okay, here's the scale of E major. So the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and the octave. Okay, we're going to take the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th notes. If I want to suspend the 4th on E major, I'm going to move that middle note up a semitone, and that will give me E sus4. And then I'm going to take that middle note down a whole tone to make a suspended 2nd. Okay, and we could play exactly the same as I did in C, but what we're going to do is make things a little bit more interesting. So we're going to talk about the where you might have a C/A. Okay, what does it mean? Some people say to me, can I play either C chord or A chord? Well, no, you can't, because if you decided you wanted to play an A chord there, you would find that once you've worked through your 1st, your 3rd, and the 5th to find A major, that you would end up with a C sharp in it. Well, if it's a C chord and you throw a C sharp into there, you're going to get this kind of clash, which sounds really, really awful, so we're not going to do that. Okay, what it actually means is that you hold the C major chord in your right hand and you move to the A in the bass in the left hand and create this. Now that actually creates the same sound as A minor 7th. But I'll explain that hopefully in another video for you a little bit later on. That often when we move bass notes around or we change inversions and add things to them, we actually end up being able to call that chord more than one thing. So let's not confuse things for the moment. This is C major chord with an A in the bass. This is C major chord with an F in the bass, so C/F, which clashes a little bit more, but you can hear it needs to resolve to a G chord. Okay, and that's what we're going to do in today's exercise. So we're going to take a C major chord and we're going to suspend it to the 4th, straight down to the 2nd, back to the major. And that's our little pattern. We're going to play that pattern 4 times, and each time that we're going to do that, we're going to move the bass note around as well. It's going to go from C down to A, down to F, and then we're going to bring it back to the G, okay, and then we're going to resolve it to the G major chord. Okay, so I'll talk you through it as I play it through. C major, C sus4, C sus2, C major, C/A, C sus4, C sus2, C major, C/F, C sus4, C sus2, C major, C sus2/G, and then drop the C down to the B, which forms the G major chord, which finishes that exercise off nicely. Here is it one more time without me talking. So there we have suspended fourths and seconds, and again we can move those into any key at all. Practice that for a little while now, and come back to the next video, which will be published out within the next week or so. That's going to be talking about the sixes, the ninths, the major sevenths, dominant sevenths, and various other little parts as well that you get thrown into your lead sheets, and you want to know what to do with them. If you found this really useful, hit like on our channel. We're Load Street on YouTube. You can like our Facebook page as well. We are on, just search for Load Street Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We've got loads of social media things going on, but give us a like and we'll notify you as soon as we get that next video up and ready for you.